Well, good evening, my lovelies, and welcome back. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm all in red today to celebrate. Now, before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm Camilla, the Queen of Constantia, and welcome to my secret throne room for those of you who haven't visited me before. Please remember, subscribe. It's very important for me to keep my content going so I can do regular content for you. Press the like button if you like what I do. Comment if you'd like to chat to me. It's always great. Or if you have any opinions that differ. And just a couple of notes, okay? So I like to keep notes while I'm watching and reviewing because sometimes things slip my mind. So I keep them in my little Real Housewives notebook, which I will be referring to from time to time. So I will look down while I'm talking to you. Please forgive me. I don't do everything off the cuff. I don't have a prompter or a teleprompter or whatever. My show is very organic. It's like we're sitting together in my living room and I will just be referring to these notes from time to time. That's the way that I work. And then one final note today. In 2 weeks' time, in this bag, there will be 10 gifts that I will be giving away to 10 lucky subscribers. I will be giving away 5 100 Rand airtime vouchers and 5 of my own t-shirts, which are taglines from the Real Housewives of Cape Town show that I said during the show. So I am going to be posting a YouTube video showing those t-shirts and showing what I will be offering sometime within the next 2 weeks. So if you want to win any of those prizes, please subscribe to make sure that you can be up for winning one of those gifts. Make sure that you do that. Right, and now let's get on. Today I'm reviewing the Real Housewives of Gqeberha episode 2. And the title of today's review is Much Ado About Nothing. Now, Much Ado About Nothing was a play written by William Shakespeare, and it was basically about friendship. It was about crossed wires. It was about honor and deceit. It was about hidden identities and feelings, and basically a lot of stuff about nothing, which is really, to me, a lot about what happened in this episode. So let us begin. We start, oddly enough, with much the same as we started with last week. They show us all the drama that is going to happen in this episode squashed together at the beginning of the episode. Now, why do they do that? So basically, you could actually watch just the first 2 minutes distilled of the episode and you would already know what was going to happen in the episode. I don't get it. Normally what happens is that at the end of an episode, you get a brief glimpse of what might happen in the next episode. But you don't normally, before the episode happens, get a brief glimpse of what's about to happen. To me, that's really weird because it's kind of broken all the secrets before you've even got into the episode. I find that very strange, but it happens. Okay. I like the Gqeberha song that they've had written for the show. Nice and catchy. It's not just background music. Nice touch. Okay. Production note. I got the really, really lovely Bully G reached out to me since my review last week about my comments about the Picasso painting. And she's clarified that, in fact, she was not in the market for a Picasso painting. I'm very relieved because if she was, I think I would have had to become her best friend if she had that much money. She was, in fact, looking for a Picasso drawing or an etching, which are somewhat affordable to those in a higher income bracket, and they are available if they have a good provenance. And I quite agreed with her. Yes, indeed they are. So Bully, thanks for reaching out. That's what she was looking for. I'm not sure if she's found one, but she's in the market for one. Go for it, girl. I hope you find a lovely one, and I'm glad we cleared that up. Thanks so much. Okay. So now we find Liz and she's in her kitchen and she is hungover after Bully's party. Interesting to see that Liz is hungover and drinking a glass of wine. That tends to indicate a person who has a fairly high tolerance for alcohol and is using a thing called hair of the dog, which is not a great thing to do. And she is then visited by her neighbor Donovan, who is in his PJs. I'm wondering if Donovan is maybe a husband kind of thing. Not sure. Anyway, they sit down and they're busy sort of picking apart the night before. Liz really has a very high opinion of herself. You know, she's going on about the fact that she was the hottest girl there by a long chalk, and she's running the other ladies down to quite an extent. She's especially running Ash down. Now, I did say last week that her comment about Ash wearing cotton on was the most funny, shady line of the night, which it was, but she's now going too far. Really. I mean, she's really, really, you know, ringing this one out to the point where it's now gone beyond a bit of shade and it's just becoming unfunny. And then Norma arrives and yeah, running someone down is not shade. It's just, yeah, it's getting unpleasant. Norma arrives and Norma's also hungover. Okay, so we're now getting the idea, okay, whoa, this must have been quite some party. So it wasn't only Ash that had a lot to drink. Everyone did, by the looks of it. And Norma's a bit confused. You know, he has a guy in his pajamas. Is this now, and Liz doesn't really try and explain, is this now a chap that Liz has had over for the night? And then Liz couldn't resist. She does a massive name drop. That Donovan is the, what does she say? He's the, vice president of South SA Cricket. I mean, she just has to put that one in there, doesn't she? You know, he can't just be my neighbor. No. Name drop, darling. Anyway, I noticed. I saw you do that. Anyway, then, so Liz then starts again about the fashion. And I want to say, Liz, you are not the sole arbiter of world fashion. I personally would give that award to Anna Wintour of Vogue. So I think step back a few paces, if you will. Yeah, just cool it. Okay, so then there's the whole thing about them thinking that the idea of Bully flirting with Mr. Faku was hilarious. I also thought that was very funny. Nice little moment of him shouting Amandla or something at some point. I mentioned in my last review what an amazing guy I thought he was, actually. And all kudos to Unati for being married to such an amazing guy. And can I just say, well, I'm just going to throw this in, that Unati's outfit in the confessionals this week was beautiful. Now that's fashion. Liz, fashion? Okay. Then we move on to Ash, who is meeting up with, Ash is just communicating, and Ash sums up, she says, she's feeling very hungover, which must mean that it was a successful event. And Ash, I want to say that I'm not sure that being drunk and the word success necessarily belong in the same sentence. Necessarily. Just want to put that out there for you as a future thought. Bully, I think, feels very motherly towards Ash, and I think that's very sweet. They live sort of close by, and I think that Liz is actually behaving has been very rude to Ash. So far, I wouldn't call Liz the fashion queen of the series. I think Norma is outdoing Liz by far. Norma has a cool elegance to her, which I really, Norma all the way for me. So Liz, as I said, take a step back before you start criticizing others, because pride comes before a fall. Anyway, so Bully and Bully is obviously, she's gone round and she's visited Ash, and we've heard about everything that Liz said to Ash at the function, and it really wasn't very pleasant at all. Uncalled for, not nice, and as I said, Liz is not the deep fashion arbiter. And then Bully decides to meet Liz at a spa day. Liz arrives bearing Hennessy. She knows that Bully drinks champagne. She then makes, okay, and by the way, I guarantee you that that Hennessy is what I call re-gifting. So I'm going to confess, I have a re-gifting drawer, and if somebody gives me something that I don't use, don't like, whatever, I put it in the re-gifting drawer, and then I get it out and I re-gift it at the appropriate occasion. So for me, being a person who doesn't drink, Hennessy would be one of those things. My husband probably would drink the Hennessy, but you know what I mean. So Hennessy retails for about 550 rand a bottle. So in fact, if Liz was going to spend 550, she could easily have gone and bought a bottle of Moet Chandon for Bully. So therefore we actually can guarantee that that Hennessy was re-gifted. And then she says, I know you like champagne, but I got you this for your bar. I call BS, okay? I call re-gifting. And then she says, oh, I'm quite sure that Bully can't actually afford Dom Perignon or whatever the surname of that guy called Dom is. Now, please tell me that was a joke, Liz. Please tell me that you don't really believe that that is the name of a man. Please tell me, because that isn't what Dom Perignon means. It isn't. It's not the name of a man. It's not the name of a person. It's got nothing to do with anything like that. Just go and Google it and get your facts straight. Or otherwise, please put it in the comment section and tell me that you were joking. Because if you really don't know your champagnes that much, don't comment on champagne. And the other thing is that the value of your Hennessy was 1/10 the value of a bottle of Dom Perignon. So I don't think possibly you could have afforded to buy Bully a bottle of Dom Perignon, because it's about 5,500 rand. Hashtag just saying. Okay, so then we move on to, oh, I just want to say, Bully, why weren't you honest and just right in that moment, why didn't you say to Liz, I'm sorry, Liz, I don't like Hennessy. It's okay, you keep it. Instead of just going, oh, thank you, and taking it and then moaning in the confessional. Just say, oh, Liz, really, I don't like it. I don't know what I'm going to do it. It's okay. Thanks. Keep it. You know, I'd love to see more honesty from you ladies, because everybody comes on at the beginning and goes, I'm such an authentic person and I hate fakery and whatever. And then they're not their real selves. Do it. Just go, it's not my kind of thing. Really nice of you to bring it, but it's okay. You can keep it. Or maybe you wanted to re-gift it as well, Bully. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know. You've been in touch, so let me know. What do you plan to do with it? Keep it in your bar? Re-gift it? Maybe just give it back to her at another occasion. Marvelous idea. So, and then, okay, so Bully, so you sit down with her and you're so gentle with her, Bully. You know that she has actually, the night before, really insulted Ash, and you go about it in such a sweet way. I'd like to talk to you about what's happened. And then you say, oh, Liz, I love you to bits. I've got to say, I think that was really inauthentic. I don't think you do love Liz to bits. I don't believe you do. And I don't think Liz loves you to bits either. And then you say, I think it was a bit hurtful, and maybe you can take her under your wing and give her some coaching about clothes. Have you asked Ash whether she would like to be coached by Liz on her wardrobe? Because personally, I think being coached by Liz on her wardrobe might be her worst nightmare. I mean, I think she'd probably rather be, I hesitate to say, driven over by a bus, because that's a bit extreme. But I mean, at this moment, I think if you said to Ash, Liz is going to come round and teach you how to dress, I think Ash would run a mile screaming. I would. I mean, can you imagine bossy Liz telling you what to do if you're Ash? I also think, Ash, Let her have her freedom. Let her dress how she likes. She's forming her own style. Let her go on her own style journey. She will develop through this process of being with you, ladies. Her style journey will develop just by being around you. She doesn't need to be pushed down avenues, and certainly not with Liz. So did anybody ask Ash if she had bought into this idea of being mentored by Liz? I don't know. Please, somebody give me the answer. Anyway, so then, now, why does Liz care if Bully dated Clifford? This is what I want to know. She then suggests or even asks Bully whether she slept with Clifford as a way of kind of climbing up the corporate ladder or something. And Bully doesn't really seem to get very upset by this. I would have been absolutely furious at that inference. I think it's extremely rude. Bully seems to find it funny, and she says, oh, she can be ruder. I don't think it's funny. It's offensive. And then Liz says, well, I don't care if they dated. I don't think they dated, really. I think Bully's lying, or not lying. I don't think Bully's telling the truth or whatever it is. I think Bully is telling the truth. She said they had a dalliance, which is a short period of dating after his wife died. But why is Liz so bothered? She says she doesn't care. She clearly is, because she keeps on banging on about it. And then she says that they were engaged, and then the engagement got broke off, and she didn't give back the Tanzanite ring. Liz, very bad etiquette. Extremely bad etiquette. If you're engaged, you break off the engagement, you give back the ring. If you don't, you're ill-mannered. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You want to be ill-mannered, that's your problem. I'm just saying it's not good manners to do that. And maybe it's a little bit of a karmic thing that you're going to carry with you. Just my opinion. As I said, everything that I say on here is my opinion. So, Pumeza and Ash meet up. This is very, very sweet. I really responded to this because I'm also the parent of an autistic child. I really feel for Ash. I know how difficult it is. I know how little sleep she must have had. And again, I think we must cut her some slack. You know, she goes out, she has a bit of a good time. You know, even shopping for clothes. Let's just think about this. For the first 5 years of my daughter's life, I used to say I didn't sleep for 5 years. And this is honestly, my daughter woke up almost all hours of the night. I was like a zombie. Then I had my son, and it was like a miracle. I mean, you know, what kind of a baby is this? This baby sleeps through the night. I had a child on the autism spectrum, and it was just a completely different kettle of fish. I had to carry her, I had to rock her, I had to drive in the car. And I mean, she's 18 now, and I still have to respond to challenges every day because she's neurodiverse. And even today, I had to go 11:40 and collect her from school because she was having a bad day. She was having a semi-breakdown. She responds differently, and her development is slower. But she's an utter angel. And it doesn't mean that she's not functioning in the adult world. It doesn't mean she won't be able to move out and be a functional adult. She just develops differently and slower. Ash, I totally relate. But give the girl a break. She may not be able to be in the shopping malls and the fashion stores and, you know, decking herself out and all that kind of thing. Just let her be. Let's have some compassion here, people. I thought it was a lovely scene. Liz's event. So there's Liz. She comes in. Boss baby again. I thought venue, yeah. Signage, great. I mean, I don't know how many event venues there are in Gqeberha. I looked at, you know, the event signage and whatever, and rather like Bully's event, I'm going to just say this without hoping that I'm not going to tread on any toes, but both events were a little bit, I'm going to use the word narcissistic, but I don't want to use it in a negative connotation, but they were very inward looking. Now, of course, when we host, we are hosting in our homes, or we're hosting an event that centers on us. But both of these events have been incredibly self-centered. So Boolie's was all about Boolie. There are pictures of Boolie all over the walls, and it's about me, 20 years in the industry. Now we've got Liz, and it's all about Liz, and it's about bring it home, Liz, and I'm going to Chicago. So I've just found these events, they're not just hosting, but they're very about me, 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 me. Unusual. It's just what I see. So we've got Bring It Home Liz, we've got the signage, we've got the Chicago, we've got the whatever, and then Liz starts to moan about the flowers, and then she goes off on this tangent about these blue flowers that she says are carnations. Okay, well, I need to break it to you, Liz. Okay, they're not carnations. My husband's a botanist. Those are the furthest things from carnations that you could think of, those pretty little blue flowers. They're rather more like cornflowers. You didn't like them, that's fine. And then you said this thing about your ex bought you a bouquet of daisies, pretty colored daisies, and you threw them in the bin. Again, diva-like behavior. I don't know whether you thought that would make you appear popular or laissez-faire or I don't care, but I just thought, how ungracious. Why don't you, I don't know, when you next go to the shops, give them to the till assistant, or, I mean, if somebody gave them to you, just put them in a vase. It's just ugly. Why would you do that? You know, because you didn't like the type of flower? I just, horrible behavior. Why didn't you re-gift them? It's just horrible behavior. I don't like it. A big diva behavior. Anyway, so she doesn't like the flowers. Fine. Personally, the signage was great. I thought a lot of the rest of the decor was really tacky, and I'll get there towards the end. But then we move on to a lovely moment where Liz opens up about her daughter who got divorced and then announced that she was gay. She had to come to terms with it. She said her daughters had a friend, and then eventually she got to the point where she could say, this is my daughter's partner. And I want to say, welcome to the club, Liz. I also have a gay child, and fantastic. I'm so glad that you could come to terms with it. And it's really good for other parents who watch TV and who are able to see that people like you and I are comfortable with having gay children, because gay children are wonderful. All children are wonderful, let me just say. Then the shade, okay, Boolie, the shade about Liz having her event at the same venue that you had your 45th at. Was that really necessary? Was Liz at your 45th? So do you think that's what gave her the idea? You didn't explain. Maybe if she was at your 45th, that might have made me understand. So maybe you could explain. Otherwise, I don't know how many venues there are, as I said, in Gqeberha, how many viable alternatives there are. Sometimes venues just happen, but if it made you feel good to say that, then fine. Ash is late. I think she's probably terrified. I would be after the last lot. Then Bully did the splits. Oh my Lord. What I can say is, and that was brilliant, Bully. Nobody expected that. I do know that if you've trained very early in dance, like I did, that once you are actually that supple, you never become unsupple again. Your muscles are stretched, forever, and they sort of don't go back. But you were great. You really astounded them, and I loved that moment. It was hilarious. Ash then walks in late, and Liz says, she's disappointed me again. I have to say that I thought she looked absolutely fine. She's wearing an Adidas t-shirt. She looks no worse and no better than anybody else does in athletic wear, to me. Average. How absolutely stunning are you going to look in athletic wear? Anyway, so I put here, it's very hard to look fabulous in a tracksuit and trainers, really. And that was kind of the dress code, wasn't it? Bully came in her tennis dress, which apparently they were told not to wear dresses. But apart from that, it was like lycra, leggings and trainers. Whoop-de-doop. The only thing you could have done, which I might have done, is bedeck it in sequins. because that was like your only way of doing something that might have been different. To me, it was such a boring dress code. Then we get to the best dress, and Liz says that the people that she put on the podium were not actually her choices for first, second, and third. Well, why didn't you put your real choices up there? And why did you put Booley up there as first when she wasn't your first? And what are you trying to achieve by making her first? You're trying to get in with her somehow. What for? What are you trying to achieve by climbing up you know where? I'm onto you. I'm watching you, Liz. Right. So, you are getting so sleepy. The battle of the hunks. Oh, come on, guys. Unnecessary, boring. We didn't need a hunk at the last one without a shirt. And we don't need 2 hunks at this one. Shirts on or off. We're not 18. We are real housewives of sophistication. Just leave it. Please, can we have no more hunks? Please, can we have no more discussion about hunks? Okay? We should be, if we're not married, we should be dating sophisticated, elegant men, not perving at guys wandering around tables. Huh? Can we just not already? It's not even funny. And then having arguments about who had the most of them. Right, now I'm going to get to my final bit about the decor. The ladies were seated at a table behind which were shiny foil helium balloons, and the table was bedecked in red, silver and blue Lurex shiny tablecloths, and it reminded me of nothing so much as a kids' party at King Cake or the Party Palace. Not sophisticated. No. And then there were like paper covers over with like the American flag. This was not sophisticated to me at all. It just screamed kids' party, like cupcakes. And anyway, my opinion, I'm giving it for what it's worth. So Liz puts Ash next to her to control her. I have a feeling that this might be the story of Liz's life. Much ado about nothing then ensues, because there starts a discussion about Norma's closet. Liz starts it, and then Ash talks out because Norma is discussing the size of her closet and Liz's closet, and Ash reaches over and says, no, you lie. What he's talking about is Norma's being modest about the size of her closet, and Ash says, no, you lie, meaning you're being modest. You're saying your closet is smaller than it is. And Norma takes umbrage. She gets upset about being called a liar, and then everything goes pear-shaped. And poor Ash lands up getting upset. Norma takes it completely up the wrong way. And then Ash tries to get up to apologize. And Liz pushes her, really pushes her hard, back down into her seat and says, stay there. Bully. Big, fat bully. Well, not unsurprisingly, Ash gets upset and goes and has. And Norma actually lands up being quite bullying as well. And Ash goes off and has a little cry in the loo. And I'm not surprised. I really thought it was really, really uncalled for. And in fact, I think Liz has been going for Ash a lot. Eventually, after this, Bully goes and she finds Ash. And, Bully, you are a peacemaker. You come back you look after Ash, you calm her down. And the other, you come back, and by then, the other lot are pretending innocence. You know, they're like, no, we didn't. They did. They bullied her. I watched. I saw. They bullied her. And then Ash comes back in, and I want to say, Liz, you are the stirrer. So Ash comes back in, and she actually apologizes to Norma. But I'm going back to this. The other ladies bullied her, okay? She used the terminology liar, but what she was saying was, maybe the word lie was wrong, but what she was saying was, you are exaggerating. I think that's what she was trying to say. No, come on, you're exaggerating, okay? So the word lie got misconstrued by Norma, who took it up the wrong way. But now, this is a storm in a teacup. This is what I said. Much ado about nothing. The whole episode has been much ado about nothing, except the one person in the middle who's stirring, which is Liz, about nothing. Okay, we don't want to have a show that is much ado about nothing. Bully, very sweet peacemaker. Ash, very sweet young person who's confused and drinks a little too much. Okay, and then finally, there they all are sitting. Bully's there. She's a professional singer. Somebody said that somebody needs to sing, and Liz won't let Bully sing. She wants her friend Harrison to sing instead, at which point Bully gets up and storms off. Ta-da! Ladies and gentlemen, kindergarten is closed for the day. All the little girls are now very tired and very grumpy, and their mummies must please come and pick them up and take them home for a very, very good sleep. Once they've had their sleep, we hope we'll see what will happen next week. I hope that it might be better than this week. Thank you very much for listening. Please tune in next week. Please subscribe. Remember the prizes. 2 weeks' time. Please like. Please comment. It's been wonderful to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you lots. Bye.